Alrighty guys, hello, welcome back to another tutorial. This is going to be the last tutorial of the actual Python tutorials. So if you made it this far, congrats. You should have a pretty good understanding of basics of Python. Again, we didn't go too deep into the concepts, we just kind of gave an overview, really. But yeah, so the last little bit, as we discussed in the last tutorial, we kind of talked about inputs and reading inputs from files and whatnot, but we never really talked about writing to a file. So let's just jump right into it. So when it comes to actually writing to a file, let's just say we have input.txt. My first line, my second line, my third line. So we have with open. Remember, with the with statement, you don't need to add a close block. So the with open, the answer, and then 42. If you can guess what this is going to do, then give yourself a pat on the back if you get it right. But yeah, let's see what it does. So you didn't do anything over here. Obviously, it's not going to print anything out. There is no print statement. So if I were to go into input.txt now, it's going to be like, hey, the answer 42. So it overwrites what was in there. You'd think that, hey, it would just replace one of the lines. No, it's going to replace all the lines and replace it with the value that you actually want to put in. So in this case, we're putting the answer 42 and then a string of that value. So, but yeah, I guess that's basically it. That's all you have to do. Remember to specify what you're doing. In this case, we're doing write. If you were to put this as read, then you obviously, if you were to do like f dot write hello, it's going to throw an unsupported operation, not writable. It's because we just defined what we're doing to the file as reading when we're actually writing. So change this to write again, and you're good. So yeah, that's basically it. What if you didn't have anything? What if you didn't have anything there? Again, you're going to get that error. Make sure you specify what you're doing in this case, but yeah, it's not too complicated. You could, like say you wanted to grab the first line after you wrote it. So if you wanted to say read underscore line is going to be equal to f.readLine. Value that. And now we're going to print read underscore line. All right. So what do you think this is going to do? If we're overwriting the file and putting hello in there, let's just change this to yes. And then we have read line. Will this, like, since we talked about in the last tutorial that once it goes over one line, you cannot use that line again. It will skip over to the next line. So if we read one line in this case, then it will go over to the next line. Do you think it's going to, like, do you think we're going to be able to print the read line after we replace the first line in this case? Well, the first line in general when it comes to writing. But do you think we'll be able to use the read line method to print the read line? Do you think it's going to work? Remember we specified it as reading only. So let's try something else here. With open, let's just copy this stuff actually. All right, let's call it as J. All right, so we have the exact same thing, but obviously this one's going to be read now. And let's jump right into it. So we're going to do read line is going to be equal to f or j dot read line. Now what is this going to do? Print read line. Oh. If you would have guessed that it doesn't do anything, like if you went over this and replaced the value, you're now allowed to use another read statement, with open statement. So it'll only happen within that block. Remember that. So when you use the with statement or with method, whatever, but when you use that, it's only going to be specific to that block of code. So although if you were to, remember we talked about in the last tutorial that, as we discussed earlier in this one as well, if you print a line or do something with a line, it will automatically go to the next line when you go to do something. In this case, if you use another with statement, you can do exactly the same thing. So, yeah, pretty simple stuff, guys. Not too complicated. Just play around with it. Honestly, if you're following along here, you should have a pretty good understanding of what we're doing here. Not too complicated at all. Just it's the read line. We're using another with block after this one, of course, and we're doing the exact same thing, but we're reading it instead of writing to it. But yeah, I guess that's basically it. That's the end of the tutorial. So if you guys enjoyed and liked what you saw, feel free to give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you have any questions, just drop them below. I'll be sure to answer them. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. Yeah, I guess I won't catch you in the next one, but I'll catch you in the another video, hopefully. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.